The only thing that I've finished so far, or at least that I'm happy with so far, is the layout for my neighborhood.
All right.
This is making me want to go back to Animal Crossings right now.
Dude, we've been
doing
this like week in and week out. We've been talking Animal Crossing and all that. And with that, everybody,
all because I upgraded to OLED.
Yep. I want to welcome
Nice.
everybody to Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Diorio, your host, as always. The Beanied one is either going to be late because of traffic, or he won't be here. We'll
Thanks,
see.
California.
Oh, bro,
Thanks, Cali.
bro.
Thanks,
It's
Cali
common,
traffic.
It's common, bro. Like,
All right. Anyways, tonight though, Crashing Game Night for the first time in 45 episodes. It has been over a year since
Wow.
she's been on.
I've been here.
The Huggable
It's been here.
Hipster. Arielle Danan.
Hi. How you guys doing tonight?
What's up?
It's been a
I'm
week.
very hype right now on caffeine, so if I act like an overactive chipmunk, you guys know why.
Well, that'll fit just along with the Theodorable one.
That's one of our favorite moods.
The
No.
babyface one, Theo Walski.
No, I did not leave a raisin out for Theodore to eat for me,
You know what?
or for
The
Simon to
second you
eat for
signed
me.
somebody's shoe, Theodorable, you owned it.
That's fair. But I mean,
Copyright claim, patent, all of it.
And then lastly, the man, the myth, the legend, the man with the couch, our maitre d' services, the Lions mane, Jason Valerio.
How's it going, guys? How's it going? I am back after a week hiatus. It's okay. It's 1 week, but I know you all miss me. I know you all miss me.
I have every right to give all of you guys shit for last week. I'm just gonna go on record for that right now. You all.
I
Theo
had a
couldn't
legitimate
make it.
reason.
Jason couldn't make it. Jerry was a half hour late. So I started the show on my own. It was the solo show.
You got the skills, sir. You can do
Yeah.
solo.
I do, but that was
Wait, I
kind of
shouldn't
like
say that because otherwise he's going to replace us.
Yeah. No, but like, let's have to have
now hiring for new co-hosts.
you gotta turn one way and like, hey, so Matt, what's going on? And you just turn the other way again. Oh, not too
Oh no,
bad,
it was
Matt.
it was a good conversation with myself, especially just owning up to the fact that Xbox just isn't for me. It's not.
And that's
Outside
okay.
of
know.
Forza and Halo,
After recently
just-
purchasing it.
it's just not for me.
You do you, boo.
But that being said, let's catch up with Arielle.
Yeah.
We got to catch up.
Yeah.
It's been a busy year and a half for you since you were last on.
It's been a wild
You're-
year. I don't even feel like I've fully submerged and like sat down and realized just how incredible this year has been.
Your channel
I-
has seen
I have
tremendous
to
growth.
at least ask really quick before we dive too deep. I feel like you've redecorated.
Yes, I have. I've redecorated a tiny bit.
We got some new stuff on the walls, and the desk is rearranged since I remember.
It is. I want people to know that I shill for PlayStation very much so. So yeah. It's so strange because it's like that's the common thing that I got all like the beginning of the year. It's like once I showed something from PlayStation, it's like, oh, you're such a shill. It's like they make great stuff. So I mean, yeah, of course.
I mean, that's
Fair
like at one point, Tony got tagged for different things. Tony
Yeah.
Polanco.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my god, I remember that.
And he was like, he makes one comment about Xbox Game Pass, and he's like, "Oh my God, you're switching sides." It's like, no, dude, he's allowed to report on games just like we are. And
What's
Yeah.
really funny is like he texted me, I think it was a few weeks ago, saying it's so funny how I'll just text one word, Game Pass, and everyone goes crazy.
Yep.
That's all it takes.
he will be
Yeah.
back on in a couple of weeks. But he's currently
Nice.
chilling out over in Hawaii.
Yep.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh,
Yeah, and he's
okay.
posting pictures of it, and I hate him
Okay.
for it.
Right?
I'm not jealous. It's gonna be winter for me soon, so I'm ready for all the cold. It's my favorite time of year right now.
you
Well, we're
you
getting ready.
California.
I mean,
traffic is
it's
bad?
it's been a while since
Go to
we've had an
Hawaii.
on location type of episode. I feel like we need to go to Hawaii.
Ooh, I'd be okay with that.
On
just saying.
location with Tom Nook in Hawaii.
Yes.
Yes. But no, so you've seen tremendous growth in your page. You
Nice.
also announced you're kind of rebranding a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
you're also now an editor at Game Informer.
I'm very
Hell
happy
yeah.
about this right
It's
now.
kind of come
And there's another thing that's going to be coming up, which I can't talk about it just yet, but it's another job opportunity that literally, if I get this, it's my dream job come true, part 2.
Oh, that's insane. That's
So,
awesome.
crossing
You
my
can tell us.
fingers.
We won't share. I mean, yeah, we're
yeah,
streaming
oh,
live,
yeah.
but
After the
live
podcast,
stream
after the podcast.
is not a thing. We're technically being recorded right now, and this is not live.
it's not like many people watch us on Twitch anymore anyway. So
That's not true.
no, we're actually
until we
looking at
break our
following-
first NDA, and then we're just like getting everybody watching now.
No, we've been actually looking at possibly moving over to
Okay.
another platform. You know,
The tubes of you.
the tubes of you. You know, I mean, now that Twitch actually announced that they're going to be allowing multicast now for partner and affiliates, so
Yeah, which is
why
great.
not? So,
Right.
but yeah, it's been a bit.
It's been a bit.
It's
It's
been-
honestly been so crazy because like even the weather change, like it's
Mhm.
been crazy over here as well. Like this fall, I don't think I've seen as much wind gust. I know it has nothing to do with gaming,
Mhm.
but the weather is absolutely nuts.
Well, I mean, Theo and I live in Colorado, and it's like this past couple of weeks, it started to drop off to where it was really cold in the mornings and then be hot in the afternoons. Now it's going to go from being like in the 70s today. Sunday, we're expecting snow and below freezing
What?
temperatures. So
What the heck is that?
It won't happen. I know it won't happen because it's still before Halloween.
What the
yeah.
heck is snow?
They say
Snow?
it, but it won't happen.
Hey, Jason,
But then it's
if
the
you actually
perfect
moved out
time for
here,
like hot
you'd see it.
chocolate and
Yeah.
marshmallows.
But then I feel bad for the
especially
kids,
pumpkin
like,
spice.
trick or treating, and like
Yeah.
they need to stay. Like I don't want them to
Make them earn the candy.
No, that's rude, man. Come on now. It's like, how
The
are they going
years
to
of
stay
Mortal
warm? You're going
Kombat
to
come
have
out.
so many costumes
on.
of leftovers because they're in tinfoil in order to stay warm.
Oh my gosh, imagine just one kid walking up to your house and just all dressed in tinfoil. What's going on?
Like,
Learn-
you're smart,
learn
dude. You're
to
smart.
insulate your
You're keeping warm.
cosplay.
Not only are you
Yeah.
warm, but the aliens won't get you either.
Only if he's wearing it on his head.
Trust me,
That-
with how screwed up things are right now in the world, aliens don't want to come here. Which, real quick, talked about it last week. We would be remiss if we don't actually cover a little bit of world news that are going on in the world. Our thoughts are still with the civilians. I want to say civilians because they're being greatly impacted on both sides, but with everything going on over in Palestine, Gaza, and Israel, I think my thoughts are with just the civilians. We're not talking the terrorist organizations with Hamas and everything like that, but the civilians that are being kidnapped and the atrocities that are being committed. I think these are the times when the strong need to stand up and end it for both sides, right? I get it.
Mhm.
There's differences on both sides, but we have to think about, like, for instance, like Palestine is 40% children.
Yeah.
And they're being greatly impacted. So just thoughts going out to everybody that's impacted by that and their families. I know they're starting to release a lot more of the hostages now, which thankfully that is a really good thing. And the hostages are taking trophies with them. One of the hostages, she was like a mid-70s woman that was held. She basically cut off the hand of one of the the captors
Jeez.
my
before being
gosh.
released
Jeez.
and
Go
took it
her.
with her.
Holy
Right.
There you go.
moly.
I mean, that's the thing is it's, they want to do those things. Hey, that's their karma and
my
it's going to come
God.
back and bite them for them.
Yeah.
But
I just had an
Still-
awful, awful thought because it's a hand and it's you, Matt. So it made me think of Mannequin Arm
oh God.
with Call of Duty, just like coming up behind somebody, and just
no.
whapping them behind the head.
Let's be honest. There's only one person I would come up behind with a mannequin arm in Black Ops 3,
Jerry.
and that was Jerry.
Jerry.
Arielle, you laugh, but it became a running
Sorry.
joke in our we would do deathmatch, and we do hardcore.
We still have an Urban Dictionary entry of a Jerry round for him.
That's so mean still, but I still laugh at it. I don't care. I'll
But it's
laugh
still
at
so
that.
good.
I'm sorry. It just struck a funny bone within me.
But anyway, so it became a running joke that I started with a combat knife, and I would just walk up behind him and just knife him and walk away. Then I unlocked the mannequin arm. And what I would do is I'd walk up, hit him, and then basically clap my hands with the mannequin arm.
That is the best form of trolling. Like when it's between
Right.
friends, and that is the best. I love that.
That's so much
like,
better than teabagging.
That's actually, it was similar to something that I did in a collab video that released today with my friend Sergeant Meow. And when we were in the video, she said to me,
I love the name Sergeant
Oh,
Meow right now.
I
right.
just want to share a Jerry round for everybody.
hey, listen, 5 kills during online first. Oh, okay. Well, that's me in any co-op shooter game.
But no,
Yeah,
he would go ultra negative. So Jane Doe 172322. I know the author.
I mean,
She's
to
down
his
the hall right
defense,
now.
to his defense, we usually played hardcore and we didn't really help him because we did friendly fire consistently. Particularly with Jerry, and we would taunt him as well. Even if I was like clear across the map, I'd be like, "Hey Jerry, turn around," and he's just like, what's going on? Where is he?"
that is similar what happened today, because it's like I had like this thing. If you guys know the game The Forest at all.
Which game?
Forest? No.
So The Forest is basically a horror game riddled with bugs.
Okay.
It's so much fun. You can
Okay.
do like these different cheats and different things to make it even more
You
hilarious.
lost me with bugs.
And you can, I picked up a pickaxe and I was just like, "Hey, Sergeant," flap. She's like, "Why did you hit me?" I'm like,
Oh,
As I can.
because you were looking at the booty for too long.
you know what? Sometimes, it's just look, a kitty.
Right.
Hey, it's a bell. Look.
What's a mouse?
So anyways, but yeah, to case in point, like I talked about last week though, is that, and that you're on, Arielle, I want to talk to you about it too, is that, I did state that, the Xbox just wasn't for me. It just, and even with Game Pass, and I know I messaged you, right? And you gave me a good kind of list and stuff like that. There just wasn't enough for me of the games that I like to play to warrant keeping an Xbox.
Right.
So because I was still trying to save up money to grab another PS5, because you all know I had to take care of some medical bills. So I was like, well, PS5 or my echocardiogram.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think my echocardiogram is a little bit more important. I ended up doing a swap and trade for a PS5 for my Series X and a Series S. So
A scale of
PS5
1 to
is
10, how
back.
much do you miss the PS5? Oh,
the
PS5 is back.
no, it's on my, sir. It is on my desk.
Oh, okay.
It makes sense though, and I'm going to say something that might, trigger some of the fanboys. But the thing is that
Bum.
I know, shocker, journalists triggering people. Wow, I know. It's going to be actually kind of interesting, because it's like the way I would rank it is PC, PS5, Nintendo Switch, Steam Deck, Xbox.
Dang, you throw the Steam Deck in there.
Damn.
Because
Perfect.
and hear me out on
Perfect
this.
ranking.
And hear me out on this, because you have Game Pass. You can play it on your PC if you get Ultimate for $15 a month, right? That's
Yeah.
what I'm currently using right now to
Mhm.
do the 3 recommended games a week for Game Pass, because they have a lot that's coming there, indies included, because indies I feel like nobody really talks about much. They really
Yeah.
stick to the AAA content. So I don't think you need an Xbox to experience quality. Now, the only downside about the PC is that you have to have pretty good specs on your PC in order to run it. But that's where I would rank it, is having the PC first. PS5
And-
next, because the games that you get that are exclusive titles to that are so incredible that I don't think, and this is, I don't know, this is kind of just where my opinion differs from a lot of people's, of where it's like that the exclusivities on PS5 are way better than they are on Xbox, because they are more story driven. And for me personally, I like more story driven games.
Yep.
Switch, just because of the compatibility that you have with so many different titles. Same with Steam Deck. Xbox, if you want to have a machine there for games exclusively and Game Pass, then that's kind of just like a luxury ticket item. But you know, I got both because I was like, okay, I want an exclusive thing for my games. I need the computer to do like video editing and writing and other stuff. So it
Yep.
can't just be exclusively
Which,
for games.
by the way,
That's a list.
how's the MacBook Pro for editing for you?
It's pretty good. It's really, really good. Like for me personally, I use iMovie a lot more for short form editing for like vlogs and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to Final Cut Pro, it's basically the Premiere Pro for the Mac series.
Yeah, I've been running a M1 Pro for a couple of years now,
Oh, nice.
and I love it.
I feel like with that
but-
ranking and that excellent explanation of the ranking is that I feel like you've been a part of our group for like 10 years already,
Yeah.
because it's just nailed
Like
it.
we used to work together in a video game store, you know.
But I mean, she's dead on, right? I mean, PC, I have to
Master
admit,
Race.
PC Master Race.
you-
PC Master Race.
I mean, it does give you a lot of options, right?
Yeah.
But I
Especially
think
with
with-
modding and everything like that. For me, I'm a modder and I use DuckStation for my emulation. So
Really? There you go.
But you have to, I look at it from an Xbox perspective, right? And
Mhm.
their first party studios haven't done well for a while. And it pains me to say that because they used to have great first party title games. You know,
I think that's because of the acquisition, though. Everything got distracted by that. And that's where all of Microsoft's attention went to, was that acquisition. And now that it's over, I think they'll go back to what they were doing before, was making
I actually
great
feel like it
games.
was way before the acquisition.
Yeah,
Oh,
same
it was
here.
way
really?
before.
I
Yeah.
I feel like it
I
was even
mean-
before talks and everything. I feel like the acquisition was out of desperation, really, because they were seeing that
Falling
they're
so far
losing
behind.
the ideas, that there's just, they needed something that
I mean,
was just to
case in
throw
point-
money at, so that way they could get some more money.
Interesting.
They started, you know, you have the initiative
Hello.
that was supposed to be doing a Perfect Dark, I think it was, that they originally announced. They had a little trailer for it like 2 years ago. We haven't seen anything on that. There's no Gears of War.
Yeah.
I mean, look how long it's been for Gears. Halo Infinite, it's taken a bit to fix, but that launched in an absolute mess.
That's the only thing
No,
with the Xbox
Forza?
is that you have so many times you can use the same product with a different title. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, when you play Call of Duty, you play Call
Uh,
of Duty.
Well,
You
but we've
know-
defended this from another aspect, like Mario. Like, how many titles are Mario? We're still playing Mario.
No, but I mean,
think
it's a different
But
game
to-
though. Like, I mean, like that's how GT and Forza and like Horizon, all those games that are driven based, like Formula One, all of them, it's the same thing, right? It's the same drive straight, make left turns. All you do is the same thing, but
Oh my God.
we just
I like how you
All
made
I
it
can see
NASCAR
is
all of a
Jeff-
sudden.
No,
It's just freaking.
we
No,
just
no.
we just
I
constantly
can just
get
see
that
Jeff
cookie
Dunham
cutter,
in my
though.
head now with Peanut when he's making the. What do you like about
Gotta go
NASCAR?
fast.
Makes
It's
the left
easy to watch while you're.
turn.
It's easy to watch while you're drunk. Just making a
Yeah,
left
you just-
turn.
Make left turns, and you that's
Um,
I mean, Xbox, it has the same thing where like it was Call of Duty, Halo, Gears different.
But the
I'll give
difference
it
is
different
though,
because it is different games, but
Halo was better year in. I mean, every iteration of Halo up through Reach.
to a certain
when-
point, and
when
then it just
Bungie
became
was
like,
still
oh, okay,
there.
It's
When
another one.
Bungie left and it became 343 Initiative, as much as Bonnie was great leading the studio, right? It still kind of went back to the same formula year in, year out. Now, that being said, with Xbox, right? And Arielle, I'm going to get your take on this, right? Is that how do you feel that the acquisition and merger now that it is official, it's going through and everything, how do you see that impacting the gaming industry as a whole? Or do you?
Financially, it's going to impact it greatly because you have all these independent studios that are coming in, and a lot of them, deservingly so, are under the, as one journalist put it so eloquently, the what is it, the lifespan wings, or digitally Microsoft span wings that will cover them. I think it'll financially impact things of where the games themselves, they won't necessarily cost more for the consumer, but they will cost more to make by the studios. Activision in itself has a lot of great games. Not too many people know this, but Activision was the publisher for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. So when we look at how many different amazing games are coming from that studio and how many of the people were in that studio working their butts to the bone, everything was doing well, like really well for them making games, but not on the social development side of where like they were being treated poorly by their supervisors, they were being treated poorly by their boss, like the CEO that was just fired basically from that will not be a part of that same infrastructure. So it'll give Activision and other studios a chance to kind of like get the BIOS back up and running again in a good way.
Well,
And it'll be a positive impact for the gaming community as a whole. More expensive, but a positive impact.
I think it's gonna be a positive for the Activision's family of studios, right? Now that Bobby Kotick is gone, you've got Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond, who are really about diversity and taking care of their teams, right? That's gonna be, I think, a breath of fresh air for those studios that have been long under all those, the sexual harassments and cases and all that. So it'll be rather interesting to see what happens. Where I see that the dynamic is still to be determined, right? Is that it's going to be, does Sony go back on, and truly try to get the Activision games back on PlayStation? Because with that whole court case, they basically said, no, we don't want your deal, which included all the Activision games. They just wanted Call of Duty.
Right, because it's what makes them the most money.
And it does. And they've even come out in those court cases and saying that they make a lot of the money that goes into their first party studios comes from Call of Duty and all the digital sales and everything. But there's still a lot of games that have been on PlayStation for a while, though their sequels and everything may not be anymore. I mean, they come out with a new Spyro, that may not be on PlayStation now.
But you will have it on Nintendo Switch and Xbox.
Yes.
So there's still
because
a way to get it.
Nintendo and Xbox are like, hey, we're hanging out, I mean, case in point, Ori, right? You've got Ori on Switch and it's tied into your Xbox Live gamer tag. So you can still get your achievements. So it'll be rather interesting to see what does take place and what transpires. The other thing is, if you do see Activision games showing up on PlayStation, is there going to be a delay? Because Jim Ryan, although he is on his way out, did infamously say that he wasn't keen on the idea of sending dev kits essentially to your competitor, because now Xbox owns Activision, which is a publisher. So do you think that there would be a delay in games showing up?
It depends on a lot of different variables, right? It depends on how early the game is shown at E3 or different different hubs, that
don't mention E3.
Different conventions.
It still hurts.
Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, like depending on where it's shown first, you have that variable. You have what kind of game it is. So, and there's just so many variables that go into that. So it's a bit of a loaded question with a long answer to it. It's not just a very simple thing as saying, yeah, no, games will be delayed. We don't know until we see the game. Like, for example, Fable, that's not under Activision, it's under Xbox, but we see how that turned out right now. It's been delayed and it's been pushed back so much that we were almost going to get a definitive date on that and we didn't get anything.
Yeah.
So well, it really depends.
More on the Activision, well, anything that would come out of Activision that would have normally gone onto a PlayStation, right? If Sony decides to say, we are not sending the dev kits until we launch our console or announce it,
right?
That is going to delay development cycles for any Activision games that could end up on PlayStation. Right. So I wonder, depending on what the new leadership at PlayStation does, right? They may just decide to go, you know what? We'll show them our hardware. We don't care. We're that arrogant, which is what Sony's been like this whole entire generation, right? They knew they're number one. They still are, depending on what, which month it is, whether the Switch decides, hey, I'm going to sell a whole bunch of units and basically take number one on the sales charts again. PlayStation's been number one between Xbox and that. So then speaking of Xbox, Pete Hines announced that he is leaving Bethesda after 24 years. I think it was kind of bittersweet for him because he's been so, knee deep in Starfield and that development with Todd Howard that once it got to launch, he said, you know what, I can step away. So,
That's hard. That's hard.
It is, but Pete's been there for, Starfield, Elder Scrolls. I mean, what, 24 years? That goes back to Elder Scrolls 3.
Oh, wow. That's a long time.
Yeah, because I was playing Daggerfall in high school. So that was
2000s.
Elder Scrolls 2.
That's just
so yeah, that have to been
before Morrowind.
Yeah, it have to been Morrowind, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, what year was that?
Hold on, I'm gonna look up Bethesda games right now
Because
because
2006, I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah, see, 2002 is Morrowind, so just right before it.
yeah, so
Holy
figure
moly.
just
Yeah.
before Morrowind came out, he started with Bethesda. So
That's a long time. But it's kind of like going out on a high note, to be honest. It's like leaving at the height of a
Yeah.
career, but it's
You-
but I can see how it's a bittersweet thing because you're leaving at one of the most pivotal points in gaming history, right? This is the first title Bethesda has come out with in close to 30 years. That's an original IP.
yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's okay. So Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall was 96.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's right before Morrowind. I was like, yeah.
Battle Spite was 97, Red Guard was 98, and then Morrowind was 2002.
Yeah. So when you look at that, right?
And I feel old.
I mean, now that I think about it, I was like 96. God, I was a junior in high school at that point. So yeah, so congrats to Pete Hines though. I mean, as much as people do bash Bethesda for their bugs and their quality control, Pete has been one of the faces of Bethesda for a very long time. And
It's undeniable the stuff that he's been able to contribute to the community.
Yeah, and no matter what system you play on or whatever, whether you agree, you like Bethesda games or not, right? You have to respect those guys that have been around and contributing that. I can still remember when Theo and I went to the Bethesda presser back in 2015, Theo.
Sounds right.
Yeah, sounds about right. It was our second year at E3. Bethesda was giving away passes to their press conference for E3. Wow. And I happened to win 2 tickets. So Theo and myself and Scott, we all adjusted our flights, booked an extra day on our hotel, and flew out early.
That's exciting.
And it was at the Dolby, and that was amazing. Walking, where they do the Academy Awards and everything. It was like walking up that staircase and seeing all the Academy Award winners lined up along the walls. It was like that was more of a highlight for me than being at the Bethesda presser anyways, because Blockbuster geek. Oh, mate, rest in peace. So with that, I want to get your take on this, guys. This is something that Sony did announce last week, and I think this alludes to why their prices are going up, is that they're bringing cloud streaming to PlayStation Plus. It is you need premium for it. So we don't know where the prices are going at, but they are going to support PS5 native games through PlayStation Plus game catalog. It is looking to go live on Monday. Already went live in Japan, and Europe. So you're going to start seeing now download and stream.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
So when you look at what they're having available, it's going to be original PlayStation, PS2, PS3, and PSP games that are in the Classics catalog. The PS4 and PS5 games that are in the game catalog, PS5 game trials, and supported digital PS5 games from your library.
Not bad.
Now, let's be honest. PlayStation Now wasn't the best. And I've done some of the streaming for the PS3 stuff, and it still wasn't blow me away type. How do you guys feel about now we're looking at PS5 being streaming for one, two, them really trying to really become Xbox, xCloud and whatnot, and their price increase now that it is a little bit more expensive than Xbox Game Pass.
Well, since I'm reading these FAQs, I feel like I'm a little disappointed that it's PS5 exclusive. They cannot help those with at least a PS4 in order to still do this with premium and be able to take advantage of things, especially since we still have so many releases now that are still PS5 and PS4. So I mean, like, it kind of sucks that they're excluding them. I do feel like it's their initial step to a Game Pass. And
now
potentially leading towards expanding areas to where it's playful. So like on PC, or even having an app type of thing to where you can do it on, like, say, Sony TVs. Like, Sony TVs have their own operating system now, and you can do apps and stuff just like a Roku or whatnot, and just be able to game off of that.
What do you think on this one? Being you have Xbox, and
it's interesting to me because, like, I'm of two minds, as someone who will buy refurbished items and will test it. Like, the MacBook I have is from 2015, so it's something of where, like, you have the product, it doesn't mean you're going to get all the accoutrements with it doesn't mean you're going to get everything that's supposed to be with it, and I feel like this is going to come off harsher than it is intended to sound, but we're moving towards a new console.
Just do it. Just let it out.
We're moving towards a new console
Preach.
era. I feel like people need to understand that we're not updating the Dreamcast anymore. Why do we need to update the PS4 right now when we're already 3 years into a new console cycle?
Yeah.
Case in point, Spider-Man 2 is PS5 only.
I mean,
Yeah.
all this that they're setting up for is how the Portal works, how the Portal does. Honestly,
Yeah.
That's all it is. And because, I mean, come on, like, you're streaming games now because the PlayStation Portal is going to be, like, being able to be taken free roam, handheld, try to be a Nintendo Switch, but not a Nintendo Switch.
But it's still only within the household.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
as long you can still do Wi-Fi at a hotel.
You can
and
Wi-Fi
connect
it
to
up
your
as long as your
PS5,
PlayStation 5 is on.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
You know, you can
But
you can
which
roam.
is still the same
Wait.
as it's always been. It's nothing special.
Exactly.
Can we
The
talk
Portal
about this
then.
though? Can we talk about this, right?
Or show.
They're really saying to do full HD 1080p, you need 23 megabits per second.
No, that's accurate.
Do you know how much lag there's gonna be on that?
That's accurate.
That's okay.
No.
For a 1080p, okay. But if you're going 4K,
But at the same time, you got to remember this is 1080p is most likely only at 30 frames per second, especially for most games.
Yeah.
30
Yeah.
frames per second ain't going to mean nothing.
it's not like the make or break as I personally like it, but it does the job. It does the job.
Yeah, but also, you gotta think, like, they're marketing this towards consumers, which is kind of interesting to me, of where it's like, if they were marketing this towards content creators or people who can actually, like, and you know what, this is the thing,
Use
like, I can't afford to get these subscriptions at all, but, like, for people who can afford to pay the piper, that's great, that's on them. But I feel like they're not making this very consumer friendly for maybe someone who only has a digital PS5, for example, has a couple of kids, works 2 jobs, and they want their kids to have something nice on the side. This is not a practical thing for a family because it's getting so expensive, and I understand price inflation, but this is getting a little bit too much. I feel like at least Game
Agreed.
Pass is a more of a manageable price point for households.
And that is something we did talk about, right? When the prices went up, for $80 for, one PS5. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's still, you raised it $20, but when you start looking at it, we have multiple PS5s in the house. That's, when you have multiple PS5s in the house, you've got 2 different accounts, you're going to have 2 different subscriptions. So you're starting to add on there. I think for the value, Switch is still the best value for a online account, for gameplay. Because like we
Isn't it
pay
like $3.99 a month or something?
well total. I pay. I just renewed ours. We pay $80. That is
year,
for
right?
that's for the expansion pass too, right? So we get we get
Okay.
all the virtual consoles. So Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64, Game Boy,
Nice.
Genesis, the download content for Animal Crossing. So the Paradise Island stuff. You get the Mario Kart Speed Pass essentially for all the extra content and everything. And it covers 8 accounts.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
And that's practical.
But
So
that's
for
Nintendo,
us,
though.
right?
That's always been Nintendo, like the family system, literally the family and friend system.
And that's the thing is, right? Talk about family and friends, right? We have everyone on this podcast is on my Switch Online membership plus my entire household. So we have like there's 8 right there, and it's for essentially $10 a year to have all of that is well worth it. Is
It is.
Nintendo's online?
You hear
the
that,
greatest?
Netflix? It's
Not
okay
really.
to share accounts.
Yes, it is perfectly okay. So it is. It'll be interesting to see where Nintendo or PlayStation goes with this, in terms of going up against Xbox from an xCloud streaming type thing, right? Because we know PlayStation Now wasn't the greatest. It had a lot of issues.
Mm.
Sony did do a partnership with Microsoft a couple of years ago where Sony agreed to share some of their expertise with camera lenses, specifically the ones for phones and stuff like that, because although our phones may be Apple, these are not Apple.
No.
These are actually Sony lenses for most of these. So they're sharing with that, and then Microsoft was going to share their streaming Azure technology and ways to beef that up. So we'll see if that partnership actually helped with any of this project that's coming up, but I'm not holding my breath on it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that Sony, at least in my opinion, is becoming like the Apple of gaming. It has so many exclusivities and so many loopholes. I mean, like, for the new PS5, you have to buy the stand separately. What? That's an Apple move.
That's
Like,
not even an Apple move.
That's-
That's even worse than an Apple move.
No, that's an Apple move. That's an Apple.
No,
move.
that's an Apple move.
Come on,
No,
man.
actually,
You remember the
yeah,
iStand?
it's
You remember the
Like when they were
iStand?
like with
No, the
MagSafe.
iPhone not coming with the
MagSafe was a
the
thing.
chargers now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
iStand.
I recant my statement.
It's just weird to me because it's just like you're already making people pay arm and a leg for your console. Why are you so greedy right now of all times when prices are
Correct.
already high? Like, I love
And-
PlayStation, but come on.
I mean, you're paying, and that's why, like, the other thing too is like for anybody that had the plates, because I've got the black ones, and then my wife's system had the red ones on it. Those plates now, which is why I went and got the PS5 now, so I could make use of the plates that I have. The plates that we have are no longer compatible with the new system because
Exactly.
they're quadrant plates, so they're gonna make
What
you
was it?
charge.
Oh, that sounds like a what? An Apple product?
New version, have to buy all new things. Yeah,
Yep.
that sounds like an Apple move.
Sounds
Kind of,
like an Apple
depends.
product.
Yeah,
Steve Jobs is rolling his grave right now.
he's like, God, why didn't I just patent that? Trademark it. I'll keep
Not-
making money.
Not only that, they
Pull
came
a
up with the
Steve
separate
Jobs.
headphones. They have the separate,
At least-
dongles,
Yeah.
everything.
No, at least now you can just use a USB-C, You
Yeah.
can use USB-C.
No,
now.
no. You can't.
Thank you, Europe. They have to be
No.
Apple specific. They have to be Apple registered.
It's even worse
USB-Cs.
than that, right? Is that if you get the iPhone Pro, the big one, you'll get the latest what is it? USB-C 3.1, I think it is. Those transfer speeds are only available on the Pro. If you get the lower end versions of the new iPhone, you're getting the 2.1 or whatever it is, 2.4 speed that's on the current USB cables.
Literally,
Sounds about
Apple
right.
all just called us poor.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, I think with the new places you bring it up though, it's like something like that. They're raising prices. Okay, so they're giving you 170 gig extra space.
One game. That's just one
that
game.
is that's
Call of Duty.
that's not even Call of Duty because Call
That's
of
a
Duty
Call of Duty DLC.
It's Call of Duty DLC.
This is one game.
I mean,
The
honestly,
Rise of Ghost.
most of us that have, PS5s, a good portion that store, especially those with digital systems, right? We already have terabyte expansions on our PS5s anyway. So it's like, that's kind of a slap in the face. But I think the worst is doing the stand because they've already been doing a vertical or horizontal stand with the console since launch. So now they're going to go, you know what? Now we're going to make you pay. If you want the nice, shiny, metal-looking stand to stand it vertically, you're going to have to pay $30. Or you can go with the cheap piece of plastic we're going to include with it to lay it down.
I can't
Plus,
I
have you
can't
guys
wait to
seen it
see
laid
Twitter
down? Like,
posts of like the jankiest stands made out of cardboard
Bro.
or like soda cans or something just to shove it
Oh my
into
God.
PlayStation.
And then they're going to come back and say, oh yeah, whoops, we made a mistake. It was just a financial error. Sorry, we'll include it.
No, I feel like instead it's going to be they're going to sue those people for making a PlayStation product cut off.
Okay. But here's the thing, though. I mean, they did try and sue people who turn PS3s into George
Plates.
Foreman's.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
I
The
mean,
heat
that is
plating on those was
creative.
so good. I mean, it was so good.
That's
back
very
then. But let me go see if I can find the article that shows the
Man, I mean,
PS5.
all the price raises and stuff like that is just to soften the blow for what I feel is going to be the hilarious PlayStation Portal. Like that's all it is. I
mean,
have no
I'm
faith
excited
in.
for the PlayStation Portal. I feel like people who, want to stream their content and everything like that, good for them. They can, get the content. They can do all that kind of stuff. I feel like it's more like different things that will be eventually become collector's items in the future.
It will.
But
That's
I mean,
what we're
like, I
talking
did
about
the
it. Here's
streaming
here's
with
the pictures of it.
an iPad and with a laptop, and it worked great for what it was. But I mean, like, I feel like it's not going to improve with a portal.
Plus,
Yeah.
why are they making another version of a console so soon after they already released the next generation of what their console is?
Because the people that bought digital are regretting it because they couldn't get physical.
No,
All it is.
I'm not. I'm not regretting it one bit.
Mm-hmm.
I still,
And that
Mhm.
stand is nice though. Like it's a nice aesthetic. I would get that.
well,
It is.
and I still
a nice
find
aesthetic.
it so ridiculous because
But
we
look,
talked about
here it
this
is.
a couple of weeks ago.
That looks
Is
so
that
awkward.
The
Lying
disc
down.
version, the whole thing
when I
with the
say a
disc
cheap piece of
version,
plastic. There's your cheap piece of plastic.
is that all that it is?
That's all the vertical or the horizontal stand
Yep.
is. So they're basically
my
resting
God.
it on the actual disc.
It's a
drive.
toothpick. It's a toothpick.
Yeah,
That's all you need is a
It
toothpick.
just looks awkward.
dude, the landing gear and the Millennium Falcon look better on a
I
toy.
mean, what if it's only that? What the hell is the point? Like you have, like, based off of the picture, you have the bottom of the top, or essentially the top. It's like a quarter of an inch off the ground.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, what the hell is the point?
Yeah.
For
So-
equal leveling of the
Yeah.
CD.
So yeah.
The leveling of the seat, because that
Equal
matters
leveling.
nowadays.
See, here's the thing, Jason, is
For those
granted,
that understood the
understand
Walkman era.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Discmans.
Did you remember?
Yeah.
Did you ever have that?
Anti-shock.
Like you had the CD Walkman and you'd like had to turn
You
it a
had
certain
to.
way for it to
Yeah.
play
It just,
right.
like,
Otherwise,
Banging on the
let's
edge or
skip, bro.
something.
Let's skip.
I mean, Jason, I get physical. And with Switch titles, I buy them physically because we have 4 Switches and they can be played wherever, especially with 2 kids. But I would rather leave space for collectible stuff than on my games.
You know what's
good.
collectible? Physical games.
Hey,
I'm
You know
a
what,
physical only person unless it's sent
Yes.
to me digitally.
Yes.
High five.
I want that.
High five.
Yes.
And
Okay, so
no,
I
any-
have a follow-up
any-
question for follow-up question for collectible physicals. Do you have at least I'm gonna go as far as 20% of your physical games on display?
I have all my physical games on display. I have like almost 200
Alright.
physical copies.
Yeah, I have 20 at least
Alright.
20%.
Yeah.
There's a few that are like shoveled under the bed now because I just don't have a way to play
mean,
them.
In my book, I label you true fans of physical.
I mean,
Well,
I do have
the
all
thing
my
is that
physical
like I
Nintendos out.
love steelbooks as well. I just can't
Yes.
find a lot of them. But for me personally, steelbooks like that come with the actual game copy, like Resident Evil games.
Mhm.
When they did that, that was amazing.
eBay. That's where I've gotten all mine for the most
I have
part.
I didn't even think of that.
like one of my physical
amazing.
collectibles is the Tekken catalog, where it
Mhm.
came with a bunch of, it's literally just a bunch of Tekken on one side, and then you'd have the disc on the other side.
Mhm.
And I'm slowly trying to like finish that out. I never was a huge Tekken fan, that's why I never
Mhm.
like got it. But I was like, yo, this looks pretty neat. If I can finish it off and have this wall of like Tekken on the backside of all the physical games. Ooh, chef's kiss.
Yeah, I ended up.
Easy.
Yes.
Another thing with collectibles, and I can show this actually. I have all the discs actually underneath here. When I went to a pawn shop, it was, gosh, there was only one copy left of this game. And I know I posted this on Twitter and everything, but the person said, these are going like hotcakes. There are 5 of them that we already sold
Oh
during
my
the
God.
week. And you better get your copy.
Wow.
I don't even own a
Yeah, there you go.
PSP. Like literally, I understood that day what it meant to be a collector because it's a rush.
Yes.
And there's
Yeah,
one
and-
game that is sold on Amazon. It's a copy of Sweet Home that was literally the inspiration for Resident Evil, and it came out in '89.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I've never heard of
Okay.
that.
and it's for the
Um,
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast.
Before it's time, it's before it's time, man. Before it's
Sega.
time.
Sega fucked that up.
This
So
is
bad.
before it's time, man.
Yeah.
Before it's time. Like
No, I think
It's literally
honestly,
it's too soon.
I think Matrick was rewatching the Dreamcast presser when they debuted the Xbox One, and he was all touting out all the cool things about it, like
Xbox
having
original?
to check in, 24. He came out when Xbox One launched, not the
Xbox
not
One?
the OG,
Xbox,
not the OG,
Xbox original. Xbox.
no, not the original.
Which
The
Which
Xbox
one?
One that came out in 2016.
362, whatever, 720,
Oh.
whatever.
Okay, 2013.
Remember when he
okay.
came out
720?
and
Okay.
the
see?
infamous
Thank you.
this is how you trade, or this is how you borrow games from people, with Yoshi and
that
them going, here, this paper. But he had talked all that stuff. But when you look back at the Dreamcast presser, it was that whatchamacallit, they had basically didn't tell anybody
Nope.
that it was launching.
They just said,
and
hey, this is coming out.
They just
today.
said, hey, it's in stores now.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, there's games available now. So nobody got a chance to review anything about it
Yeah.
until it launched. And I think that doomed the Dreamcast right then and there.
Yeah.
Like,
Unfortunately,
all
it
right.
was a great piece of
Sadly, yeah.
hardware.
Sadly,
It
yeah.
was way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And that pack-in
Way ahead
disc
of
that
its
you
time.
got with it,
Yeah.
Way
with
ahead of
Shining
its-
Force and Columns and Golden, like there were so many great
Everything.
games on that pack-in game that it rivaled what Nintendo used to pack in with their systems.
Mhm.
With Mario World and whatnot. So with that, I know, Arielle, we got to get you out of here because you got to work a little early in the morning.
5 a.m. is gonna call me, and it's gonna be interesting.
Oh, 5 a.m. That's my
Ouch.
normal wake up time.
Yeah, same.
That's
I love
because
it.
you have
I'm a
kids.
morning person. So
I didn't
Oof.
used to be. I used to be
Morning.
more of a night owl,
Awful.
but now
I know, right?
I'm on a schedule. Outside of what you're playing for reviews and all of that and going through
Mhm.
that, what are you actually playing for your own personal enjoyment outside of your reviews that you're enjoying a lot that you think people should pick up and
mm.
try?
Okay, so all the games I play for my current enjoyment, I've already reviewed, and I am currently enjoying Cozy Grove a lot. It's one of my favorite games to just chill out and play on the Nintendo Switch. And Coffee Talk, again, another Nintendo Switch game. Currently going to be reviewing. They sent me over the copy of the second game that came out, Coffee Talk Hibiscus and Butterfly, which
Ooh.
I'm so excited to review that game. But Coffee Talk, Cozy Grove, and what was the other one? Hold on.
She's looking at
Hold
the
on a
physical
second.
copies.
I know I am looking at the physical copies. Oh, and Returnal.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I wouldn't be a Soulsborne creator if I didn't at least, punish myself at least once for my enjoyment in video games.
I'm still like, I'm still slowing down on it.
Yeah.
Sekiro
That's
took-
actually what the rebranding was. Like I currently am a Soulsborne and Souls-like content creator and game reviewer on YouTube. I used to do
Okay.
like all that other stuff, and I was just
Yep.
like, what exactly do I want to be? And I know I love Souls games, so it was just an easy pick for me.
Nice.
Okay, good, because I need to take a break from that. Like Sekiro still got me. Like it's still like it's
Ishin
such a great
Sword
game.
Saint?
It's such a great game once you understand it, once you get it.
Yeah.
But like the lead up, oh my god.
But how long did it take you to get to that point?
Oh my god.
It's what
Tr-
gets me.
By
I-
true
I
love,
seriously
finally
I don't have that
understood.
investment, man.
Yeah, I know. I sat on a boss for, I kid you not, maybe like a week, and I was like, you know what? I'm just done. I'm just like,
I feel like it was
Tearing down
longer
my
than
head.
that. Like when we talked about it, when you were active
Oh,
on it. I
because-
don't want to say it was like close to a month.
oh,
That
So
was me with Ishin. Like Ishin Sword Saint, it took me a good week to beat.
no, it was his dad that just got me. It was like forever and a day. I just could not, and I was like, ugh.
so
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was
wait,
gonna start
Did you do
back
the
on-
second ending then? I hate to interrupt, but that makes
Oh,
me
no.
curious. Did you do the second ending for Sekiro if you beat the dad first and then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
went, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
yeah. That's why the dad just took a lot out of me. I was like, oh my god, and I was just like, okay, but you got to get the platinum. You got to get the platinum.
Yes. That's what I'm in the
Oh.
process of doing with Bloodborne right now. I have almost 400 hours in that game.
I
Like,
I can't get into
Nice.
Bloodborne.
it's still
I
wrapped.
just-
It's still wrapped. I can't. I'm just like, ugh, I already know. It's from software. Oh, I already know. No.
So I know I was gonna dive back into FF16 and actually start working towards finally finishing
Nice.
that game. But Spider-Man came out. Started playing Spider-Man. Mario Wonder came out. Started playing Mario Wonder. However,
Oh,
to
man.
no one's surprise, I went back to my bullshit of Animal Crossing and started doing more on my island.
How many hours have you put in that, Matt? Like, I'm not shaming you. I'm just saying, like, it's.
I'm pretty sure
Um,
he's over 1,000. I'm
I've got
pretty
to
sure.
be like, it hasn't rolled to hit and show like 1,000+ hours on my Switch yet, but I'm getting pretty close.
Oh man, because like,
Yeah,
I think that
actually,
you've been
which
putting in
version of
work
the
in that.
Animal- This
You've
is
been
my
putting in
version
work.
of the Switch that I currently own is the Animal Crossings version.
Oh yeah, let's
Yep.
rock it.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's amazing. I love that.
Okay, Ariel, I am like, you want to talk about simping for things and shilling for things? Like, I have the Build-A-Bear Tom Nook. I have the coasters that they did for Nintendo Rewards
It's
for
amazing.
Brewster. Like, it's little Brewster.
That's adorable.
I have on my shelf back here the Animal Crossing box as my kind of like bookend for all the physical copies.
Oh my god.
And then I have Mr. Rossetti, Rover, Tom, Timmy and Tommy, Kix, and Blathers amiibos all over there.
I love that name.
I
Blathers.
have Animal Crossing, 2 Animal Crossing hoodies, 2 different t-shirts. Like, I
love
love
that.
Animal Crossing. Like,
Yeah.
for the holidays, I switched over to using Jack for my essentially my avatar. So I am currently, at the last time it shows any hours tracked,
Mhm.
it's 765 hours or more.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's amazing though.
So I have
I'm actually
redone my
surprised I'm
island.
catching up to you, kind of. Mine says 690 or more.
Yeah, but there's certain time markers that you hit, right? And then it updates your time. So
Yeah.
I think probably the next one I'm getting, it's probably going to get close to is
The 999.
900. Yeah.
the 999. Yes, sir.
Oh,
yeah.
I did forget to mention. There's one other game I would highly recommend for people to check out. Cult of the Lamb. It's so good.
I've heard of
nothing
Cult
but
of the
good things
Yeah,
about
Lamb.
it.
that too. Yeah.
So
I feel
good.
like Jerry told us he was trying that out.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
play
Jerry
like
was
a
trying that
little-
out.
A little lamb, and you gotta build your cult of like animal followers, and it's adorable, slightly disturbing, but it's adorable.
I was gonna say it's not demented at all.
No,
But-
well, I mean they have like this ritual sacrifice, but that's
So I hate to say this, but that should tell you kind of what I think about Wonder and Spider-Man 2, that I've kind of I went back to Animal Crossing to play some Animal Crossing.
It's a comfort game though, and that's not
It
to be
is.
ashamed of, because
It
you
is.
know that's
It's a game
good.
that you shut your mind off to, which is nice. Like,
Yeah, but
I feel
here's
like
the thing,
Wonder,
though, is-
All
you're,
the
you're
chaos going on in the
involved, like
world, you
Spider, you're
need
involved. Yeah, so much
something to shut
chaos.
your
Like
me
you're
out.
pulled in, but
Wonder
this
is
you just
not,
kind of
as much as I love 2D Mario, Wonder is not hitting for me. as much
really.
as I
I'm
thought
having
it
so
would.
much fun with Wonder.
It's all right. There's just, the levels are short. It feels like they're trying to cater to some of the Mario Odyssey crowd with the collecting of the purple coins, so you can go buy little different things and whatnot.
Yeah,
But I don't.
no,
I also
I like the
don't
badge system to give different
And that's fine.
skills, which is nice.
My big nitpicks with it though are, you share lives. So if you're playing with your family and you've got 2 young kids, like
They keep
your lives
dying?
they're gone,
no.
right?
You
Right,
start playing with your
okay.
kids, then I'm
Mario
gonna say,
became a
it's
Souls
like-
game.
It's like
But
it
two
works
is-
great when you're single and solo.
It only allows one save file.
That's ridiculous. No, that's ridiculous.
Yes.
Nintendo.
Yeah,
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Because we tried to do like with
come on.
with like New Super Mario Brothers
God.
U, right?
Yeah,
We had one file the kids were playing on, and then we had one file that was the family file where we'd all play together, work through the game both on Luigi U and Mario U, and that was great. We can't do that. So right now, the family file is sitting on my Switch, so that way the kids can go off and play on their Switches and at what pace. Spider-Man 2, I'm not terribly far into it, but it's a little bit more of the same that we had with Miles Morales and Spider-Man in terms of mechanics and everything. So they haven't really added on a ton. Like,
well, we saw that coming though.
Yeah,
so we'll see how it ends up later.
it probably
but-
will. Probably will develop.
So we'll see. Jury's
I'm
still out
more
on
interested
Spider-Man
in the
2.
story for Spider-Man 2, to be honest. I mean, any Spider-Man game, I'm just here for the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, Arielle, plug your
It has
stuff.
Been such a pleasure, by the way. Thank you so much for having me. No,
Plug your
seriously,
channel.
like it's always
Plug it.
fun. Hi, I'm Huggable Hipster. I do reviews. I do Souls-like content. And just to give you guys a little bit of a tease of what's coming next by way of reviews, I have Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom Part 1 coming up. I have Diablo 4 coming up. Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, and The Lies of P. All of those reviews are going to be coming out within the next month. Very excited
Okay.
about it.
And folks, you can head over to crashinggamenights.com, go click on our contributors and guest page, find Arielle's profile, and the links to all of her platforms are right on there as well. So you don't have to go hunting and digging for it.
See, when you say that hunting and digging, I immediately picture your audience with a shovel and like a knapsack in the back going and like
Shovel
hunting and
Knight.
digging.
Shovel Knight it up.
Or
like Hollow Knight, they're just bouncing off of the walls trying to find the links.
yep,
Yes.
yes, I love Shovel Knight. Played it on my
You're
Switch
welcome. That was
and my
wasn't
Vita.
that another one that I turned you on to?
Yes. No, the
I think
biggest
it's
one is Hue.
Oh,
Hue is the
yeah.
biggest one
Have
that
you
we
ever
did.
played Hue?
I've now played Hue.
HUE. Go grab it.
Please.
It is a
Oh.
great indie title. It is
It's on like all platforms. I don't think there's a PC
I-
version, but Switch, PlayStation, all that.
yeah. It's a cheap game, too.
It's a platformer
Ooh,
puzzle game.
I love those.
Plays on colors in
Mhm.
order for
Yep.
you to solve. It was just so much fun.
I feel like during this entire conversation, Theo has been introducing you to some of your now favorite games.
He had, and what was
it's
funny
a
is
very small percentage, to be honest.
it was we were in line at E3, and I'm like, "What the hell are you playing?" He's like, "Hue." I was like, "What's Hue?" And then he tells me about it.
It's like, dude, watch this.
And that year, I didn't have my Switch. I had my Vita with me, so I immediately went
Ooh.
onto the PlayStation Store, bought it, downloaded it on my Vita, and I started playing it right on my Vita.
Nice.
It's one of those games, Arielle, real quick before you go, is that I own it on PlayStation and Nintendo. I ponied up the money
Wow.
on both consoles for it. Because it's that good of an indie title.
That's actually the same thing I did with Death's Door. I have it on PC, I have it on Nintendo Switch, and I have it on
Oof.
PS5. It's amazing.
Death Store.
Yeah,
Good
I'm
one.
working on that.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll let you get out of here. And with that,
Hopefully, it
I wanna
doesn't
thank
take
everyone
another
for
year
crashing
for
with
us
us.
to bring you on again.
I know. It's
I
so much fun getting to chat
know.
with you guys.
it's not like you can't hit me up anytime you want to come on, Ariel.
Yeah.
It's true, but I never feel,
Whenever you're
I don't want
bored.
to feel like I'm imposing at all. I just
No,
don't want to be
no.
like,
That's the whole thing.
No such thing.
There's
no such thing. It's implied in the name.
Yep.
If you are bored on a Tuesday night,
Crash whenever you want.
when we
Yeah.
record, just come on in. Just be like, hit me, send me a message. Be like, hey, do you mind if I crash? And depending if we have a guest or not, absolutely.
literally, I could just come in like Kramer does in Seinfeld every single
Yeah.
time.
Oh yeah. We've had that. Oh, we've had that a
Exactly.
few times with
Oh, God, I miss Newman.
Darren from the Rusty Roofies. We've had that with Uncle John. We've even had it
yeah.
with Soldier. Like people all just come through out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, hey, what's
I'll
up?
be texting him in the
bro?
background,
What's
be like, hey,
up,
hop on. But for all the folks that
If there's
did crash
anything you
us-
want to debate on for like a good
yeah.
hour and a half, or just go off the rails, let's do it.
Yep.
Game on.
Resident Evil movies are not Resident Evil. Okay, sorry, I said it.
Yeah. No.
Oh, we all agree. We all agree.
We all agree
Wait,
on
hold
that
on,
one.
hold on,
We all agree on
hold
that
on.
one.
We all
Live
agree.
action or hold on. Preface that live action or anime.
Oh, the live action.
live
hands down.
Okay,
Yeah.
because the animated ones
the
are
animated
actually
ones
a lot of those are
okay.
good.
They're good on their
Um,
own accord. Just don't slap Resident Evil on it and expect a lot of
Yeah,
cash.
Correct.
There you go.
With that, folks, I want to thank you for crashing game night with us tonight. If you like what you heard, drop us a follow. Head on over to crashinggamenight.com, like I mentioned, to go check out Aria's profile, as well as her episode from February of last year,
Wow.
where we that was a fun episode in itself too. Back then.
It's always fun.
That's always.
But as always, guys, with everything going on in the world, just really please just be excellent to each other.
that's
Jason?
right, nerds, everybody.
Jesus.
Jerry's not here right now, so I have to fill in for him. Oh yeah, but no, just be safe out there.
Just a voice change whenever you're doing Jerry.
It's
just-
Jerry though. Like
just-
Jerry has that like distinct like, all right, got it,
Yeah.
bro.
You know what? Let's just skip him because he's going to be in mourning because Arizona is looking like it might go to the World Series.
Oh, jeez.
But anyways,
So-
be safe out there. It is, as we've said plenty of times before, chaotic right now in the world. So let games be your salvation. Have fun, get some time off to yourself, relax, unwind, pop open a bottle of whatever you drink, and enjoy, have fun. Get that game, finish that game, platinum that game, or gold, whatever the gold equivalent Xbox is.
Mario
You're about to
Star
say
the game.
gold star.
Yeah, gold star it. I don't know. It sounds
That
right.
gold star sticker.
Yeah, put a gold star sticker on that. But always be safe out there. It is coming up on Halloween season, guys. So I know we're gonna maybe see each other on Halloween. I don't know. Are we? Yes.
No, we need to move it tonight.
Yeah. Okay. So
'Cause
well,
I'm taking
be
the kids
safe.
trick or treating.
Yeah, be safe out there because it is
Unless
Halloween
there's
party
snow.
weekend. Halloween party weekend, guys. Please
Yep.
be safe out there. Stay alive.
Alrighty.
And as always, as we continue the night, my man, Theo Walski, send us out like you do.
Ariel, thank you again so much. We love having you on.
Indeed.
Can't wait till the next
Thank
time.
you.
Right.
For those watching, for those listening, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Till next time, TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
Chicken waits for no one. Night, everybody.
No one.
Chicken wings for Noah.
Everybody.